Episode 4 of Season 1 of Andor shifts gears as Cassian is thrust into the rebellion. Hey Star Wars fans, welcome back to my channel. My name is Patrick, I'm DadOfXander, and if you're new here, we talk Star Wars all the time. If you like cool Star Wars collectibles, Star Wars shows, Star Wars movies, anything and everything Star Wars, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because this is the channel for you. But in this video, we're breaking down Episode 4 of Season 1 of Andor as we prepare for Season 2. And this episode, we are introduced to new players, new locations, and a ton of Star Wars Easter eggs. Let's dive in. Episode 4 of Andor expands the scope of the show as we are introduced to a new planet and brought back to a favorite planet. Aldhani is a new planet to us, and it is a rugged world where Cassian is going to be pushed into the rebellion as he embarks on a dangerous mission. The stark mountainous backdrop is a perfect contrast to what we've seen so far in this show, and it sets the stage for the tense undercover operation that they are setting up. Meanwhile, we get a closer look at Coruscant, one of our favorite planets, and the contrast between the gritty planet of rebellion and the cold planet of the Empire sets up a conflict in the episodes to come. In this episode, we meet some new characters, but we also get some insight into the characters we've been seeing thus far. And the theme of duality in this episode is really prominent. We have Cassian, who now calling himself Clem, trying to play this new role as a rebel. We see Mon Mothma playing dual roles of Imperial Senator and husband to an Imperial, as well as starting to see her dive into her rebellious side. And we learn the duality of Luthen, who we just know as this rebel leader recruiting Cassian, and now we find out that he is a shop owner on Coruscant, showing us he too leads a double life. Seeing all of these characters playing off of dual roles really gives us a sense at what they need to be in order to help the rebellion. This show deepens the themes of sacrifice, trust, and political tension that we've already seen and really brings them to light. We see how there's different factions of rebellion and how they are very distrustful of anyone new, showing off a paranoia that comes inherently with the risk of fighting the Empire. And we see scenes with the ISB, giving us a look at the Empire's bureaucratic efficiency and really showing us that this is not just a war fought on people, but it is a war of information and control. Once again, we see that this show is shot on location, and those locations really bring us in to these immersive worlds. The mountains and the green landscapes of Aldhani really give us that contrast to the sleekness of the Imperial homeworld. But what was most captivating of this episode was the Easter eggs. There were so many. Let's start off with some of the planets that were name dropped in this episode. First, we have Cassian talking about his time on Mimban. We know Mimban from Solo, a Star Wars story. It's the mud planet where Han and Chewbacca met. We get references to Utapau from Revenge of the Sith and Scarif, which as we know will be the climactic ending point of Rogue One. Mon Mothma's dinner with her husband names drop Chandrila, which we know as Mon Mothma's homeworld, and Gorman, which we now know will be the setting of the Gorman Massacre in Andor Season 2. And we also hear mention of Hossein Prime from Episode 7, and Ord Mantell, a planet with a lot of history in the Star Wars lore. But where the Easter eggs really came to shine was in Luthen's antique shop, because they were all over, and most of them made my jaw drop. We see a set of Mandalorian Beskar armor. We see Jedi and Sith holocrons. We see what looks like Starkiller's Sith armor from the video game The Force Unleashed, a Gungan energy shield, and what looks like Plo Koon's breathing mask. There's also a non-Star Wars Easter egg as we see what looks like the Shankara stones from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Referencing these planets and having all of these little hidden details in Luthen's shop really help us with Andor's world building and placing it within the larger Star Wars universe. That's just some of the things I noticed on my second watch through of Andor Season 1, Episode 4. The episode sets up what we expect to be an exciting conflict and does a really great job of showing us those looming tensions throughout the galaxy. What did you think of this episode? Did you notice any Easter eggs that I didn't mention? Let me know down below in the comments. And if you like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe to see more like this or videos of other Star Wars stuff like my collection from this amazing Star Wars basement, my trips to Galaxy's Edge, or just about anything else Star Wars that you can think of. Until next time, may the Force be with you.